We already loosened up the top hat nut holding the spring in, so there's not a lot of preload in here. And we removed the axle nuts, 36 millimeter. Now we're going to disconnect the sway bar end links from the strut. Then there's these two bolts that hold the strut in place to the spindle. We also have to disconnect this EDC plug, brake line here, and some wiring and whatnot. So we don't want to snag on any wires here. There is a headlight leveling sensor, so that needs to be popped off as well. And that's really about it for lowering springs. So what I usually like to do is I put some tape on the caliper and then put some tape here on the fender, just so you don't accidentally scratch something while you're moving things around from the car. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna unplug this first, some wires, get these loose, headlight level sensor, tape these up, and end links. All right, guys, so we got the passenger side strut fully out. Makes sense to put some WD-40 penetrating fluid lubricant in around the strut, and it helps it slide out of the spindle a lot easier. And again, we push the axle in, so that way we don't risk popping the axle out of the trans, because that's not a fun time. So got that out, everything's disconnected. There's the strut right there, and I'm gonna disassemble it and put the spoon springs on. We also have to trim the bump stops, 20 mil. All right, top hat off. Spring is ready to come out. Voila. Got a bump stop. We're gonna trim off the first bottom ring here, which is approximately 20 mil. All right, guys, we have spoon springs installed on our struts. We chopped off 20 mil on the bump stops, so we are ready to put these back in the car. All right, guys, we got the front all buttoned up. As you can see, beautiful spoon springs. And we need to get the car lowered down so we can torque the upper strut mounts. But we'll do that once we're finished with the rears. The rears are more straightforward than the fronts. As you can see, we removed 12 millimeter bolt for the sway link. And then, what was that, a 17 or 18?
17.
17?
Yep.
For the lower control arm. And then you can pull down on it and the spring will come right out. We're gonna transfer over the upper and lower rubber isolators to the new spring. That reduces NVH. And then bump stop has to be trimmed as well, 20 millimeters. All right, we got the rear springs in. Look how pretty they are. Beautiful blue. Put that bolt back in. You got to get the end link bolt back in. It helps to have a pull jack like that, so you can take load off and adjust it without killing yourself over here. So yeah. So let's see how we do it.
That's good enough.
Yep. Make sure you got the little nipples popped through. That way it holds the isolator in place. Then we're gonna use our nice pull jack.
Once it's lined up,
Lift it up. Line it up as best as you can. Then, once the car's on the ground, I torque the center nut to 44 and the strut mounts to 51. I know it's dark out, but this is all I can get. Ride is very comfortable. Pretty mild drop in the front, I gotta say. Very similar to H&R. There's the rears. Pretty even drop at least. Poke. Pretty flush fitment on the rear. slight poke in the front. If they pull the camber guide pins on the front, I think it would look perfect. Same on the front right. Back right. Love it. Pretty easy install, guys. Not too bad on the Type bars. Once you do it once, you build a rhythm and repeat the next time. So there it is, guys. Spoon spring install on the FL5. Hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next install video.